Stellantis is offering buyouts to salaried employees. That's the word from Cranes Detroit and the Detroit News. The automaker says it's part of an effort to cut costs following a decline in net income during the first half of the year. Picture this: you're cruising down the highway in your Jeep Wrangler, feeling all-American, then you see the news. Jeep's now owned by a Chinese company. It's closer to reality than you think. Stellantis, the parent company of iconic American brands like Jeep, Dodge, and Ram, is facing serious financial challenges. Here's the bombshell. BYD, a major Chinese electric car manufacturer, is reportedly considering a multi-billion-dollar acquisition of some Stellantis brands. But Stellantis is keeping it under wraps. Why the secrecy, and what does this mean for your next truck or SUV? I've got the inside scoop, and I'm about to break it down for you. Stellantis, the company behind iconic American brands like Dodge and Jeep, is facing serious financial trouble. In the first quarter of 2023, their U.S. sales dropped by 9%, marking a consistent downward trend. This stands in stark contrast to their competitors, with Ford sales up 10% and GM's up 18%. The sales decline is particularly evident in specific models. The Jeep Gladiator saw a 27% drop, the Chrysler Pacifica fell 30%, and even the usually reliable Ram pickup decreased by 15%. These poor performances are significantly impacting the company's overall health. The situation isn't much better in Europe. Stellantis market share there is shrinking rapidly, losing ground to competitors like Volkswagen and Renault, who are adapting more quickly to the shift towards electric vehicles. Financial indicators paint a grim picture. In 2022, Stellantis free cash flow dropped by 84%, a number that's causing serious concern among executives and investors alike. Several factors contribute to Stellantis' rapid sales decline. They've been slow to adapt to the electric vehicle market, while competitors are continuously rolling out new EV models. The global chip shortage hit Stellantis particularly hard, and rising interest rates are making car loans more expensive for consumers. Internal issues are also at play. Stellantis has been grappling with quality problems. Consumer Reports ranked Ram trucks last in reliability among full-size pickups, and a massive recall of 1.4 million Jeep Cherokee SUVs due to fire risks has further eroded consumer trust. These quality concerns, combined with external market pressures, are creating significant challenges for the company. While Stellantis grapples with quality issues, a foreign giant is eyeing their iconic American brands. Your next Dodge or Jeep could be made by a company you've probably never heard of. The auto industry is about to get a major shakeup. BYD, a Chinese electric vehicle powerhouse, has been making waves in the global auto market. They've put a massive offer on the table for Chrysler and Dodge, with the goal to bypass tariffs on vehicles sold in the U.S. by owning American brands and setting up shop here. It's a smart move, but it's got a lot of people worried. Carlos Tavares, the CEO of Stellantis, recently admitted that Chinese companies are actively trying to buy Chrysler and Dodge. This revelation comes after months of denials about any ongoing talks. The secrecy surrounding these discussions highlights the sensitive nature of potential Chinese ownership of American auto brands. Frank Rhodes, the great-grandson of Walter P. Chrysler, has offered to buy Chrysler and Dodge from Stellantis. He claims he's got billionaire backing to make this deal happen. Rhodes is pitching a vision focused on keeping Chrysler and Dodge on American soil, preserving their heritage, and understanding the brand's DNA. An American buyer for these iconic American brands could bring some advantages. It might be easier to keep manufacturing in the U.S., preserving jobs and maintaining that Made in America appeal. Rhodes might also be more inclined to keep some of those gas-guzzling V8s around, at least for a while longer. That's something that would make a lot of Dodge fans very happy. But here's the thing, Stellantis doesn't seem too keen on talking to Rhodes. They're playing hard to get, and it's not clear why. Maybe they're holding out for a bigger offer from those Chinese companies, or maybe they're worried about potential complications. Stellantis' reluctance to engage with Rhodes could lead to some serious issues down the line. Rhodes has made his intentions known publicly, but without a formal offer on the table, Stellantis can keep ignoring him. It's a risky move, especially with so much at stake for these American brands. While Stellantis juggles potential buyers, a bigger threat looms on the horizon. The SEC has launched an investigation that could shake the company to its core. What are they looking for, and could it force Stellantis to sell off its prized brands sooner than expected? The Securities and Exchange Commission is digging deep into Stellantis operations. They're investigating whether the company violated securities laws by not disclosing negotiations with potential Chinese buyers. This is serious business, with possible fraud charges on the table. Stellantis shareholders have concerns about quality, brand identity, and even national security. The idea of explaining to your buddies at the car meet that your new challenger is actually Chinese might not go over well. It's a tough sell for many American consumers. However, a BYD takeover could bring some benefits. They've got deep pockets and are leaders in electric vehicle innovation. Vehicle technology could mean a faster transition to electric for brands like Dodge and Chrysler, potentially saving jobs if it keeps these brands afloat. On the other hand, we could see major changes in manufacturing strategies, and the American-made appeal of these brands could take a hit. It's a complex situation with no easy answers. BYD isn't the only Chinese company interested in Stellantis. Multiple players are looking to get a piece of the American auto market. This is part of a larger trend of Chinese automakers trying to break into the U.S. market. As for the price tag on Chrysler and Dodge, the exact numbers aren't public, but industry insiders are talking about figures in the billions. It's clear that this potential deal is far from small change. With billions on the line, you'd think Stellantis would be doing everything to keep their loyal customers happy, but they're about to pull the plug on something that's been the beating heart of their most iconic cars. What could be so important that they'd risk alienating their core fan base? Remember that Hellcat growl, the one that makes your hair stand on end and your heart race? Well, it might be going extinct. Stellantis is making a huge shift towards electrification, leaving a lot of their traditional customers scratching their heads. They're phasing out the V8 engines that made cars like the Challenger and Charger legends in the muscle car world. Stellantis is already making moves. They've introduced the Hurricane, a twin-turbo straight-six engine, to replace both V8 and V6 engines. But not everyone's on board with this change. Dealers are worried. Customers come in looking for that classic V8 rumble and leave disappointed. One dealer told me, "It's like trying to sell a steak to a vegetarian. These guys want the V8, and nothing else will do." Let's look at the numbers. Sales of V8-powered Dodge models have been strong for years. The Challenger and Charger with their Hemi V8s have been keeping the lights on at Dodge dealerships. But now, the new Hurricane-powered models aren't exactly flying off the lots. Stellantis isn't just thinking about today's sales. They're looking at the future, and in their crystal ball, they see a world of electric cars. They're betting big on EVs, planning to invest billions in electric technology over the next few years. Here's where it gets really interesting. Remember those Chinese companies we talked about earlier, the ones looking to buy Chrysler and Dodge? If that happens, it could mean big changes for the future of Dodge engines. Chinese automakers are all in on electric vehicles. If they take over, you can bet they'll be pushing for more batteries and fewer pistons.